So, fishy again, ready for more raw fish. And I've been thinking today about something that I started thinking about in the last video I made. Do away with every form of malice. That phrase got stuck in my head, and I had a thought at the time that it meant something like not just saying the slander of saying things bad about somebody else, but every form of malice, also wishing ill on people, or suspecting the worst, or expecting the worst from them. It's not just something that you do. Malice isn't something just that you do to someone else, some action you take. It could be mental, I think. And it could reframe your view of somebody if you, I think, automatically expect that you'll be disappointed or hurt or, insulted or something from someone else. And I thought about that because of the way that I reacted when I first heard about the Kevin Spacey story, and where he was apparently attempting to prey on 14-year-old Anthony Rapp. And my first thought when I heard that was, boy, I hope that's not right. I hope that didn't happen. It would be awful to think that he did that. And I wonder if I do that with other people, if I extend that much good wishes, hope that someone isn't as bad as I suspect they might be. I don't know. I'm still trying to work on that concept, but there are other people who have done worse things than Kevin Spacey, obviously, and I've expected it, and sort of just, yeah, well, that's how so-and-so is. But there was something about him and what he did that I was hopeful that it wasn't true. Nobody likes to think of, a person they admire abusing someone else. And I don't excuse at all what he's done, but the first thought that came in is, oh, I hope that's not true. And I don't have that thought for a lot of other people when I think that they've done something wrong or mean or ill, or when I've heard something about them, a rumor or a bad thing, or when they've done something that affects me, and my first thought is that it's intentional, that it's on purpose, that they're conscious of what they're doing and the effect they're having. So I've been thinking about that, how to think better about other people, to maybe not expect that they will let me down, or expect the worst, or suspect the worst of them. And in looking at places to sort of think about that, it led me to really examine my ego, and I'll get back to that in a sec. But I was reading one of Mother Teresa's quotes. It's attributed to her, about saying that she had this quote on her wall in her orphanage in India. And the quote goes like this: "People are often unreasonable, irrational, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you're kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some unfaithful friends and genuine enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and sincere, people may deceive you. Be honest and sincere anyway. What you spend years creating, others could destroy overnight. Create anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, some may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today will often be forgotten. Do good anyway. Give the best you have, and it will never be enough. Give your best anyway. In the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway." And when I got to really digging into that, I thought, there's probably something there. And what would happen if I spent time when something happened, when I created something and it got destroyed? What would be the worst that would happen? My ego probably being damaged. And I went down the list and I was thinking, what if I loved someone and they didn't do things the way I thought they should? Or what if they didn't repay that, if they didn't reciprocate that? What would be damaged? It all comes back to ego for me, and I'm trying to see if that's a place I can park on, if that's a thing that I could use to sort of embolden me to not really care, that it doesn't matter what people's reaction to what I'm doing would be, that I need to do what I'm called to do. And being called to do something, that's a story in and of itself, and that's probably a subject for another video. But if the only thing that was at risk was my ego, that's kind of a fragile, feeble excuse to not do things. And I've really got to spend some time there on that, because ego is a thing that keeps coming up in my thoughts about this. I'm spending time thinking about myself in the way that I think about myself. It's giving me headaches thinking about it, but I want to get out of that. I want to get into a new place where I can do more, where I can accomplish more. And I'm thinking that I might have ego problems that are holding me back, and that it looks like timidity, it looks like fear, it looks like holding back because I'm scared. And it might be, but the fear might be on behalf of my ego. And that's not really a compelling fear. Everybody has some pride. Everybody has some place in them that they don't want damaged or insulted or hurt or bruised. But what if I didn't care so much about that? What more could I do? So that's what I'm thinking about, the empowering part. The good that you do today will often be forgotten. Do good anyway. That one stung, and that's the one I'm going to have to take time on. I've spent 20 years in the political sphere and have seen very little, if anything, come out of that. But it might be that I can't see what good has come out of it. Not where I am. I don't know. Yeah.